J Masters Bully joined. What's up, J Masters Bully? Big J here, checking in from Fort Myers, Florida. I don't know how many of you guys are intelligent enough to read a map to figure out where Fort Myers is. But I've got some major news breaking in from the Delray Misfits. I've just now been in phone contact with Big Lenny, Andrew, and Brad and confirmed filming on the YouTube channel for next week. If you guys want the real news, I'm about to give it to you. You guys can speculate and seminate. Just don't seminate in my mouth. Big J here, checking in from the road. Waiting to see if we can get some more viewers here before I give you guys the big news. Let it spread around a little bit. The Detroit Diesel is live. Detroit Diesel. Went live earlier on the Delray Misfits account. I don't want to wear out that account, so I'm going live on my backup account. My main account is still blocked by Instagram from going live. I'm in a group chat with about 20 other J Masters fan accounts. I'll spread the news. J Masters the Bully, you're incredible. Are you telling me that there's 20 other fan accounts dedicated to nothing but J Masters? That's awesome. That's probably more than any pro bodybuilder has. So, anyway, I just got off the phone with Lenny, and before that, I was on the phone with Brad, and before that, I was on the phone with Prince Andrew. And everyone wished Prince Andrew a happy birthday. Today's Prince Andrew's birthday. And I'm in Fort Myers, Florida, which is about, I don't know, I would say 3 hours from Delray. I'm on the other side. I'm on the Gulf Coast, and all my homeboys are on the Atlantic Coast. Remember, for those of you that have pea brains, Florida is a peninsula. It sticks out in the water. So, here's the deal. When I get over to the East Coast, which should be, we're thinking Tuesday or Wednesday at the latest, I will be training exclusively at Brad's Garage Gym. And we're trying to get Lenny up there, and Andrew knows about it. Andrew is going to come and film. And I'm going to be off work for about 2 weeks. Okay? And I know many of you have been wondering or asking or begging or telling me what I need to do with my hair. So here's the deal with Jay's hair. Sometime next week, Brad is going to fix my haircut. And his live-in lover, fiancée, the lady Valerie, is going to probably bleach my mohawk white. And we're going to do my goatee in jet black. I want to look like a freak. Just for fun. Because if everything's closed and no one has to see you in public, who really cares what you look like? It's time to have some fun. So we're thinking sometime next week on Instagram, or no, I'm sorry, on the Delray Misfits YouTube channel, Prince Andrew is going to film Brad shaving my head with the except of the top. And then Lady Valerie is going to bleach the top white. Because I've always wanted a white mohawk, and this is the time. I'm going to get my COVID-19 white mohawk in Brad's garage post-workout. I got smoky, choky. You guys know the baby shark thing? I got my smoky, choky. So that's the plan. And I've already laid down the rules with Brad. Days that I go up there to train, sometimes it's going to be just training. If the training turns into beers, I'm going to stay at Brad's house in his guest bedroom. And we'll try and film as much of that as we can. Because Big J doesn't drink and drive. I don't believe in drinking and driving. I think it's bad. Don't ever drink and drive. Always have good friends that will allow you to crash in their guest bedroom when you're willing to make an ass of yourself. So everything right now as we speak between me, Brad, Andrew, and Lenny is perfect. I just spoke with all three of them on the phone. So whatever controversy you clowns are reading about on other pages, don't believe it. Right here out of Jay's mouth, there's going to be a Misfits reunion sometime next week on the Delray Misfits YouTube channel. And we're going to try and see, I'm a firm ally with Andrew. So as much as we can get Andrew to film for the YouTube channel, we're going to do. And other people are not going to be welcome to film. Other people are welcome to show up, They just won't be filming. Like if Adam McLeod wants to come up, we love you, Adam. Um, Come on up, Adam. We love you. But leave your camera in the car. Um, and Lenny's friend, what I don't even know what name he's going by now. Um, the Canadian guy. You're welcome to come. Just leave your camera in the car. This is going to be all exclusive Delray Misfits material on the YouTube channel. Brad and Jay training in the garage, and on some nights we'll be chugging beers. Not every night, but on some nights when Brad decides to trick me into drinking, and Brad gets me to drink, I'm going to wind up staying the night at Brad's house, and then there'll be additional footage. And I don't know, Andrew will stay as long as he can. And, and maybe once Andrew leaves and the YouTube footage stops, who knows? He might leave the camera with Brad. We might do additional YouTube footage. We might not. And I just spoke with Lenny moments ago. Lenny knows about the plan. And we're going to try and get Lenny up there, as much as Lenny can, because, Lenny's down in Miami, which is quite a car ride. But we're going to film with or without Lenny. But we want Lenny, obviously, because when Lenny's in the videos, they're gold. So that's the current state of the Misfits. Me, Brad, and Andrew are thick as thieves. And we're going to film as much as we can next week. And I might be off. I might be home for 2 weeks. But I'm not making any promises right now. But I've been in cahoots with my boss. We're talking about maybe getting me a 2-week vacation. And until the gyms open up in Florida, I will be training exclusively in Brad's garage. And unless maybe I make a road trip down to Lenny's home gym, but we haven't even talked about that. Now, if I commute down to Miami and train with Lenny, obviously that'll be Aladdin's footage, but we haven't even gotten that far. Right now we're talking about all the filming to be done in Brad's garage, done by Andrew, exclusively. Red light, but no Mentos. What do you mean? I just threw out a menthol. So anyway, you guys got any questions? I got my glasses on. I can read these. There's my boy Delray. Have you ever trucked cigarettes? No. Okay, waiting for more. There's only 10 of us on here right now. It's kind of lame, but until my other account gets out of jail, we got to rely on the Detroit Diesel. Where's Dale Chance Estates? Isn't he the one that films all these? Jay Masters, the bully. Did you hear about the sweeping gun control Yeah, Canada's fucked. I'm actually gonna buy a couple of guns when I get back to Delray because I'll be in town long enough for the background check. Um, I'm looking at buying a little 5-shot revolver. I have a ton of guns. Um, the one thing I don't have is a really small revolver. So don't be surprised next week if you see Big J at the gun store buying a little pocket 357 5-shot. I didn't like the smell of Ontario at all. I don't know. Ontario is a huge place. I, my next firearm, a Glock 20. I'm not sure what that is. I have a Glock 17, which is the 9mm, and I have a Glock 21, which is a 45. I'm a huge proponent of Glock. So when it comes to but that's only in automatics, obviously. Um, when it comes to revolvers, I like Ruger. Strongest Glock 10mm. You know, 10mm, aren't those bullets hard to find nowadays? The 10mm was kind of a fad. I wouldn't recommend buying a 10mm, honestly. Um, it depends on the person, but if you're the kind of guy that only wants one gun, I would get a Glock and a 40 caliber. A Glock 40, because the 40 is such a powerful round. Um, I don't own a 40 because I own calibers on either extreme of a 40. Like I got a 44 mag. I'm looking to pick up a 357 mag. I already have my 45. I already have a 9mm. So buying a 40 is like a compromise. A Glock 40 is probably the ultimate combat weapon, but I don't need one because I have weapons on both extremes. Outside of that, so you said you'd rather wanted a gun that had common ammo type. Yeah, exactly. That's why I have a 45 and a 9mm, a 45 mag, a 44 mag, and a 22 and a 38. My eyes are killing me. I shoot 40 pretty damn good. I'm a firm believer in Glock. Yeah, dude, if you like automatics, Glock is the way to go. Just in revolvers, I like Ruger. I mean, I have a 44 mag, that I've shot plenty of deer with. Not giving up my 44 mag revolver ever. But that's not a personal carry or a home defense weapon. It's got a 9 3/4 inch barrel. Guns are almost like a carpenter has hammers. If you think about how many hammers a carpenter has, that's a perfect analogy to guns. Like, a carpenter is going to have a big fucking heavy hammer to frame a house. And then he's going to have a little teeny hammer for finishing. And then he might have several in between. There's no perfect gun. If I had to put my arms around a perfect gun, it would probably be a 357 revolver. Because you can still shoot deer with a 357, and you can still defend your house with a 357. So, but that's just me. What I say about guns, it isn't science. It's just my opinion. AR-17s made by Armalite and used extensively in Ireland are great. Well, here's my theory about an AR platform gun. An AR chambered in 223. It really, it's only good for killing fucking goats and humans. I'm gonna pick up an AR in the very near future, but I'm gonna chamber mine in 308 because that's what I'll use for deer size game. If you got an AR-15 chambered in 308, you can go shoot deer with it. You know, I don't need an AR chambered in 223. That's only good for killing people. I don't need a people killing gun. That's just me. If I need a people killing gun, I don't need. I got pistols and shotguns for that. And if I need something bigger than a 308 to kill game, if I'm in grizzly bear country, I'll probably get a 450 Marlin lever action gun. If I'm out to shoot elk, I'll probably get a 338 mag with a bolt action. Remember, guns are like a carpenter's hammer. You need about 20 to do every single job perfectly. I just ran across a black bear the other day. If I hadn't stopped and talked to my buddy, I'd have walked right into him. He was 100 yards away and was the size of a fucking Honda Civic. It was huge. Black bear are basically cowards. I'm generally not afraid of black bear. What you should do with a black bear is raise both of your hands above your head so you appear much taller to the black bear than you really are. Because they're basically stupid and they're basically cowards. You can just scream at a black bear with your hands over your head and make it look like you're a 7-foot predator or 8-foot predator. That's not going to work on a grizzly. With a grizzly, I recommend a 450 Marlin lever action, or as your sidearm, something chambered in like 454 Cassell. But that's just me. I had 30 rounds on me. I'm 6'5", 295 pounds. Trust me, I hope I would have scared him. Dude, black black bears are cowards. Yeah, you're a big guy. Raise your hands over your head so you appear much larger to the bear, and scream at him. You won't even need your gun. He's going to run away like a coward. And if he charges you, you really don't need a powerful rifle for a black bear. I mean, a 30-30 rifle or a 357 handgun is about all you need. Grizzlies are a completely different animal. I gotta piss. Most people that die from grizzly bear die from suffocation because they shoot the grizzly in the vital organs, but that grizzly still has 100 yards left to run. Even if you shoot him straight through the fucking heart, he's still got about 100 yards left of oxygen in his muscles to run. So most people die from grizzly bear attacks of suffocation. Witnesses will find a dead grizzly on top of a dead human. The bear never had a chance to bite you or claw you, but he still had enough oxygen in his muscles to run. Grizzlies are the ultimate predator. I've heard advice from people saying if a grizzly bear wants to charge you, you should always shoulder shot him first to cripple him so that they can't run so fast. Then on your second shot, go for the organs. You know, yeah. Who's gonna think? Who's gonna think like that in a survival situation with a grizzly bear charging them? Oh, I'm gonna shoulder shot him first, hobble him, then I'm gonna shoot him in the chest, so he's dead. I don't know. You better be a marksman to listen to that kind of advice. I mean, I'm an amateur shot, so as an amateur shot, I'm always going for the center of mass. I'm going to shoot a grizzly in the center of mass, which is meaning his lungs, where his heart is, and hopefully I have time to make a second shot. But the experts say you shoulder shot a grizzly first, then you go for the kill shot. Who the fuck is you better be a man and be willing to shit your pants, or have a diaper on, and to say, well, I want to shoot him in the shoulder first, and then I'm going to go for the organs. Common sense doesn't work that way, but I'm telling you what the experts say. So I don't know. Grizzlies are a different kind of beast. Like, if I was going into grizzly country, I would have a lever action 450 Marlin, and then as my sidearm, I'd probably have a Ruger Alaskan chambered in 450 Cassell. Because either one of those rounds is going to fuck up a grizzly. But if you're just out there deer hunting, I, good. Yeah, I don't know if I would ever deer hunt alone in grizzly country. You need a buddy with you, or a guide. Um, so if you're out there with a big bolt action rifle, a big bolt action magnum, and you're hunting elk or moose, um, your guide is he's going to have a lever action 450 Marlin, or a sidearm chambered in 450 Cassell, because it, trying to take down a grizzly bear with a bolt action rifle, you still might wind up dead, because even if you shot a grizzly right through the fucking heart with a 300 Magnum, he's still got about 100 yards of oxygen in his muscles to charge you. So I'm not an expert on hunting in bear country. Um, I grew up deer hunting in Michigan, where all we had was black bears, and they're basically pussies. You shoot a black bear with a fucking 22, he's gonna go running like a coward. Grizzlies are a completely different fucking animal. So I don't know. Maybe my Canadian brothers that are on this could back me up. Ever shot a desert eagle? They're fun. The oil-rich Arabs like them in plated gold. It's funny you bring up the Desert Eagle. I believe the Desert Eagle is made by Magnum Research. I happen to have a gun made by Magnum Research, and it's actually a 22 that looks like a Desert Eagle. They call it the Mountain Eagle, and it's a backpack gun. It's a polymer gun with a steel insert barrel. Made for backpacking because it's light, and it looks just like a Desert Eagle, but it's a 22, and it's super lightweight, but it's made for survival situations where you might need to shoot a squirrel or a fucking rabbit for survival situations. Black bears aren't large. They're skittish too. Usually don't bother people unless you're dumb and keep your food out of the right beside you overnight. Yeah, I agree. If you get attacked by a black bear, you're probably stupid. I remember I before I moved to Florida, I had hunting property up in Michigan, and I remember one night, um, my dogs were just barking. I had two chocolate labs. They were about 80 and 90 pounds apiece. My female was about 80 pounds. My male was about 90. And these are big Labradors. Big muscular labs. Like, look how fat I am. Obviously, I feed my dogs like I eat. So my dogs were big. And I come out of my cabin, and I my dogs are just barking ferociously. I've never heard it like that. And I look at them, and all the hair over their spine, through the middle of their back, was standing on end. And they're just looking up the hill, barking. So what do? I I look up the hill, and there's a black bear up there. And obviously, my dogs already had this situation under control, but I thought I was a tough guy, so I come walking out there, and I start shouting at this bear, "Get the fuck out of here, motherfucker!" And I do the thing. I put my hands over my head. Get the fuck out of here! I'll kick your fucking ass, because I had these two dogs backing me up, and this black bear, he must have been about 200 pounds. Um, he he was so fucking stupid and lazy and slow moving. He looks at the dogs, he looks at me, and then you could almost see it in his brain. He's like, well, I guess I'm not going to win this fight. And he turns around and walks away. I've had a couple of more instances with black bear, but that was the one that taught me the most. You have your dogs with you, you'll never have a problem with a black bear. I I remember one time. See, I used to cheat at deer hunting. I used to go sprinkle corn in front of my deer hunting blind, and one time I'm going out to my deer blind to sprinkle some corn, and there's a fucking bear, and dude, the he looked at me, I looked at him, and I had a little Ruger semi-automatic, um, little mini 30, shooting a 7.62, and I fucking fired a couple. We were in the hardwoods up in the hills, and I didn't want to hurt him. I shot it. I shot it like 2 or 3 rounds into the dirt, well below this bear, and he ran away like a fucking coward. And I'm not saying I'm some kind of tough guy. I mean, you just that's what you do. You teach black bears that I see. Think about the psychology. What's going through the bear's mind. I see white man. He carry thunder stick. I run. It's that simple. Black bears are easy to manage. I see white man. He carry thunder stick. I run. So I'm not afraid of black bears one bit. But grizzlies, they'll fucking kill you. And I, I don't even want to talk about polar bears because they don't care what kind of gun you got. They're still going to eat you. They'll eat your gun. So you got to be smart if you're going to go out in the woods. Like on my last trucking expedition when I went through Montana, I went through grizzly bear territory, and I'm in an 18-wheeler semi, and I stopped to get out to piss, and I still was scared out of my fucking mind. Because I'm thinking, how many truckers leave their garbage here? Like, I'm at the Continental Divide, in Montana. And I'm thinking, truckers probably leave garbage here. This place is loaded with fucking bears. And my head was on a fucking swivel. I mean, because think about it. A lazy fucking bear who knows where people leave garbage. He's just, bears are basically lazy pieces of shit. They're gonna just hang out there, dude. And especially like 2 weeks ago when I went through the Continental Divide in Montana, and I got out to take a piss and take a picture of the sign that said Continental Divide. Dude, my head was on a fucking swivel because I knew there were fucking bears everywhere. So you're fucking, and you know what? Honest as Abraham Lincoln, I probably shouldn't got out of the truck without a gun, but I did, and I was just there to take a picture and take a piss. And most bears, they're gonna watch a situation. They're gonna, like a grizzly is gonna stalk. So if you're just there to piss and take off, you're probably not gonna get attacked by a bear. But your head better be on a fucking swivel. I'll tell you that right now. You should go hunting with Dale. He'd probably take you. I'd be shocked if a southern good old boy like him didn't hunt. No, Dale's a good boy. Hell yeah. And there's bears in North Carolina, in Virginia, where Dale hunts. You really don't even need to think about black bears. But when you're in grizzly country, you, I don't know how many of you guys have been up to Montana or the Dakotas. Um, Dude, grizzly country is a whole different program. No stalking involved, not hunting. I don't know what that means. Yeah, grizzly bears do what they want. I was pretty stupid 2 weeks ago getting out of my truck in Montana and taking a picture. But I don't, at the Continental Divide where it's that high, I don't think the bears are up there that high. Like springtime, they go down to the valleys. So that's that. Is Montana and the Dakota nice states? Um, I've never been to North Dakota. Um, but I'm telling, Montana is so gorgeous, and I love all 50 states in the United States, and I go through all these states as a trucker, thinking, would I hunt here for deer? And I'm always thinking, like, would I put a deer stand over there or over there? As I'm hauling ass down Montana, that seems like good hunting. But no, that's scary fucking shit. I don't think I would go deer hunting in Montana alone. You Canadian guys might get this. I don't think I would go hunting deer in Montana alone. I want a buddy with me. What was the most podunk backwards deliverance type area you stopped in? West Virginia? No, I love the people of West Virginia. I the most ignorant people, the people that speak the poorest version of the Queen's English, and American English is already you know pretty terrible. But I'm I'm gonna tell you what. The people in this country that speak the poorest English and are the most hillbilly redneck that I wouldn't want to associate with are in Indiana. And they're not even in the South. See, Indiana rednecks are Southern wannabes, so they make their accent so fucked up and it's so fake. I've been through the deep South numerous times. Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana. Those are good people. And I'll tell you what, they speak proper. But you go up north to places like Indiana, and they overdo the southern fucking dialect because they're such white trash. I I I would rather have dinner at a nice steakhouse with people from Alabama or Mississippi or Louisiana before I would ever walk into a restaurant with someone from Indiana. Those are the most white trash speaking people I've ever fucking met. And I've been to almost all 48 states. I've never been to North Dakota, and I've never been to Vermont or Rhode Island. I've been to 47 of the 50 states. And the most backwards ass people I've ever met were in Indiana. Alright, Luther Nick, I was a 5-hour drive away from you when you tore your quads in Rapid City. I couldn't get work off to come see you. You didn't respond to my DM. Thank you, brother. That was almost a year ago, right? Thank you, man. Yeah. You know what's funny about me? I spent all that time in Rapid City, South Dakota, and I've still never seen Mount Rushmore. My favorite president is on Mount Rushmore. Can you guys guess who my favorite president is? I'm gonna give you a clue for those of you that are stupid. The presidents on Mount Rushmore are Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, and Teddy Roosevelt. And you want to know why Teddy Roosevelt is on Mount Rushmore? because he was the one who approved the funding for the project. So, who's Big J's favorite president? Washington, Jefferson, Lincoln, or Roosevelt? Okay, I'm gonna give you a better clue. Jefferson was a true states' rights man, and Jefferson got sent to be the ambassador of France during the Constitutional Convention because they needed Jefferson out of the fucking country to get the Constitution ratified. Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence. How many of you assholes know that? And when they had the Constitutional Convention to establish what kind of country we were going to be, they knew, the federal government knew Jefferson would be a cocksucker. So I believe President Washington appointed Jefferson to be the diplomat to France. And they sent him overseas. So Thomas Jefferson was not at the Constitutional Convention because he was a cocksucker. He would have stripped the federal government of all these powers. He was firmly a believer in states' rights. Thomas Jefferson is my favorite president. Thomas Jefferson appears on the $2 bill. You know, years ago, I was at a bar in Delray Beach called the Sail-In Tavern. Hold on, I gotta piss. This is a good story. Stay with me, I got a good story about Jefferson. So, I'm hanging out at a little bar in Delray Beach called the Sail-In Tavern. And I see this local regular next to me, this old guy. And he's paying for his beers in $2 bills. Right? And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? You should be saving those $2 bills. He's like, well, I'm out of work. I've been saving these $2 bills, my whole life. This is all I have. And he must have had damn near 40 of them. Like crisp, brand new $2 bills in his fucking wallet. I said, you need to sell those to me right now. So I gave this guy, 20s and 10s and 5s, anything I had in my wallet. And I bought every goddamn $2 bill he had because he was just going to drink through them all. And I carried I carried damn near 40 $2 bills in my wallet for the next 1 to 2 years. And you know what Big J did? Every time I came in across a beggar that needed help, I would give him out of my wallet one of those $2 bills, and I would tell him that we love you, we need you. Here's $2. Get your shit together and get back to work because America loves you and America needs you. That's what I did. Big J, American hero. I know. It's a lot for you guys to handle. You think I'm just some fat slob truck driver, you know, hangs out with Lenny. Not so fast, my friends. I know the Constitution. I know my rights. I know your rights. Potato and tomato heads, the Jasons. Do you make good money driving? I've thought about it. Well, think about who's making money right now. Essential employees. Think about all these married guys. And they're at home not working because they're not an essential employee. And their wife has tricked them into thinking that being a stay-at-home mom is such hard work. Now you got all these men helping out the wife, you know, raising the kids, doing the laundry, doing the cooking, doing the cleaning. And they're like, think about the ding, 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 ding. Why the fuck am I supporting this bitch? Because what she's doing is not that difficult. You know what's going to happen after this coronavirus? You're gonna see a lot of divorces, and you're gonna see a lot of guys that have woke up and aren't willing to pay the car payment for their stay-at-home wife because she's just a dipshit. Why does she need some $60,000 fucking SUV? She's a pinhead. I can do laundry. I can wash dishes. Mark my words.